are the Steelers going tight end heavy in 2025? We kind of touched on this earlier on in the show. Darnell Parham blew out his Achilles today at OTAs, which absolutely sucks. Talks have started to heat up again with John O. Smith. Again, it's on the ESPN ticker. Now, again, I'm not telling you that I believe every single thing that's on ESPN, but the only reason that it's on their ticker is because they're getting the information from people that are close to the situation. The Steelers have reached back out. They're also in on possibly getting Kyle Pitts in the door. It may be an either or type of situation. We talked a little bit about who we'd rather have, but are the Steelers going big tight end, or are they going to still try to get a wide receiver too, maybe in the line of a Chris Olave? I think the Chris Olave thing is done. The Steelers aren't going to get him. New Orleans isn't going to trade him. I think that thing is over with. But other than that, are the Steelers going to go big tight end, or are they still going to try to get another wide receiver too?
I think they can do both. Really, to be honest, there's some other guys out on the street, even though I don't want them. Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, they can get one of those guys after June 4th, once mandatory minicamp starts. They can bring one of those guys in. They could still trade for Jonnu Smith. They could trade for Pitts. I think they could do both. They got the money to do both. So it's not going to be a hard thing to address the needs. And I think once the mandatory minicamp starts and they start seeing guys in pads and stuff like that and see them move, then they'll make a determination and a decision. So I think they can do both. But now with Parman being hurt and out for the season, the likelihood to go to the tight end room is higher than to go after the wide receiver number 2. I think it's priority because I think Arthur Smith's offense wants to go into the season with 4 tight ends versus they feel like they have depth in the wide receiver. Might not be quality depth, but they got depth. But I think they absolutely have to go into the season with 4 tight ends, man.
It's just they refuse to have a fullback. So if you're not going to have a fullback, then yeah, I guess they feel like they need 4 tight ends. But now what do? Because Parham was a blocking tight end. He was not a wide receiver or a receiving tight end. So kind of like McCole Pruitt last year. He was a blocking tight end in 13 personnel, 12 personnel. That's what he did. He wasn't just running out for passes and stuff like that in passing situations. Hell, he wasn't even in the game. So what are we going to do there? Because if that's your goal, is to have 2 big blocking tight ends in all these 13 personnel sets, the Steelers ran with 4 last year, but they had 2 big blockers. Connor Hayward isn't that guy.
Nope.
He's not going to be the blocking tight end. Pat Freiermuth is not that guy. He's not going to be the blocking tight end. So I guess my question is like, what do we do and where do we go from here, Big G? As far as a tight end, do they just say, you know what, we're going to change our philosophy and maybe we got the 1 big blocking tight end and we'll just use John O. Smith or Kyle Pitts and we'll say, hey, if we're going heavy, these guys just got to cut off backside or something like that. Is that the route we're going to go?
I could see it, but you know what that means? That means that there's going to be a conversation with Pat Freiermuth. And they're going to tell him, look, bro, we need more out of you, dude.
We need more. Yeah.
We need you to execute and do more. We need you to hold blocks longer. We need you to do what you need to do to be able to stretch this zone running scheme out the way we need to stretch it out. B, we watched the film. How many times that if Mook makes the block, Warren or Najee gone? How many times? And all he had to do was just turn the freaking dude. Yeah. Or just standing straight up.
Just being away.
Yes, being away, standing straight freaking up. So the question is going to come down to the conversation that the coaching staff has with Mook. And Mook, I'm going to tell you, bro, listen, I like you, man, but we need more out of you this year, bro. Mook, we need you to go back to how you used to be when people would call from the stands and be like, move. We need that dude. We don't need the dude to be fumbling because he gets cracked by a corner. No, I don't need that guy. I need the dude that's going to get nasty, get in the trenches, do what he needs to do, come off the play action and make a play. That's the dude I'm looking for. So move. It's time to step up, bro. It's time to step up.
Yeah, we got to do something of that nature. We had a comment in the section. Again, they were talking about that the Steelers don't use the tight ends in the passing game. Again, it's a myth because Pat Freiermuth led the team in receptions last year. Facts. So you can't say that the Steelers don't use them in the passing game. That's just a myth that got started on the internet. The reason that people say that is because they don't use the tight end like we want them to, or even they should, because they don't throw the ball over the middle to tight ends. But you can't say that they don't use a tight end when the guy literally led the team in receptions, and had almost 700 yards. Now, is it down the field? No. Is it outside the numbers a lot of times? Yeah. Is it little 4-yard stop routes? Okay, I'm with you. But they use it. It's just not the way that either they should or the way that we want them to use them. But they use it. We got to do more. We got to do more. You got to do more.
Man, Steeler fans be having delusion of grandeur and seeing Heath Miller run up the seam and catch one, man, or having seen Eric Green run up the seam and run by 5 people over. That's what they want to see in that tight end position out of Pittsburgh. That's why most of us love Mount Washington, because we see Eric Green. In our mind, if we've been a Steeler fan all that line, we're like, oh my God, here's another dude that could do that, Or we look at Moof and we're like, hey man, be like Heath Miller. Be tough, be consistent, run the seam route, get open in the middle of the field. And I think both of them had that potential, but they got to do it. You know how I feel about potential. Give me production over potential all day and night and twice on Sunday. Yeah, so they got to do it.
You're right. And Steeler Lee got a point. Tomlin won't use the middle of the field. We heard him literally come out and say that. But another thing is, you would think that the Steelers would use them. Now, Russ wouldn't throw the ball over the middle of the field either. That was his thing. Russ wouldn't do it. Justin Fields wouldn't do it. Whether they let him or not, they wouldn't do it. But you would think more guys would run over the middle of the field, because you talked about Heath Miller and Eric Green. Hell, those guys could literally get sent into the hospital. Now they can't even do that to you. Like you can run up the seam all you want. They can't even knock you out. The rules don't allow for that anymore. So you would think that they would use that a lot more, but we got to start doing it. So we got to start using them more, man. Got to start doing it.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal opinion. Freiermuth, Washington, Jonnu / Pitts, if they make that trade, I think something's going to happen there, Big G. I really think something is going to happen there. Too much smoke where there's fire. But I don't know. I just think something is going to happen with the Steelers. They're not going to sit still. I don't think they're going to sit still. I think there's still time to make it happen, to make it work. I just don't think they're going to sit still. I think they're going to figure out something.
Yeah, if we're serious about football in 2025, they better do something. If we're serious, we need another piece. So, yeah, absolutely, bro. You're right.
Yeah, I hope so. Either way, let's move on to that old faithful producer question, ladies and gentlemen. We have hit that section of the show where, in case you're new here, producer comes up with the question for the two of us that we haven't seen, throws it up on the screen, and we're trying to guess and figure out and scramble exactly what it would be. This is also a good time to remind everybody, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do so. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Continue to hit those likes, people. So let's get the producer question rolling. So, but yeah, I think it's just we're going to do something with the tight end. We'll see. Here it is. You are building your offense around a particular group set for the entire season. Assume all other position groups are average and equal. Which skill grouping are you building around? A, wide receiver heavy, the all-time spread, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and Jimmy Smith. B, tight end power set, matchup nightmare, Gronk, Antonio Gates, and Barry Sanders. C, speed and space, modern day threats, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, or Devontae Smith. Or D, the gritty grinders, all heart, all fight, Hines Ward, Steve Smith Sr., and Dan Marino.
Dog, give me B. Give me B, man. When Arthur Smith is our OC, if I got prime Gronk, prime Gates, and Barry Sanders that can kill you, B, I can go out there and play quarterback and win 10 games. I can go out there and play quarterback and win 10. I'm telling you, because you can't freaking stop that. How you gonna stop Gronk, Gates, and Barry Sanders? Give me
That's
B,
true.
bro. Give
And
me B, bro.
Gronk might be the best blocking tight end in the history
History.
of the NFL football.
In history.
So there's that.
Mhm. Give me B.
It's either for me, it's either B or it's D. Because you got Hines Ward and Steve Smith, and then you throw Marino? Because A, again, if Arthur Smith is, I don't feel like he's going to use A. Like, I don't feel like he's going to do enough with it.
Nope.
But for me, if Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator, it would start with B. Yeah, it would start with B, and then either B or D. I mean, matter of fact, I'm going to go with D. Give me Hines Ward, give me Steve Smith Sr., and then give me Marino. And then we can have any running back you want. We'll figure it out.
But B, okay, let's look at it. Okay, Mason Rudolph's your quarterback. Right, Mason Rudolph's your quarterback. Let's take that as in the equation. Barry Sanders, Antonio Gates, Rob Gronkowski. Dog, we win in a Super Bowl. Matter of fact, in their prime, we going back to back. That's basically given what Tom Brady had and Gronk, Gonzalez, and whoever the hell you wanted to put at running backs. He killed their ass with that 12 personnel and that 13 personnel tight end, man. He multiple chips. So I mean, I feel you. And I love Hines Ward too. But dog, Gronk and Gates, matchup nightmare. Somebody's open all day.
Yeah, but everybody's open with Marino.
But then you can run play action off Barry Sanders.
Can you run play action with Marino?
But with Gronk, listen, Mason Rudolph gonna look like Danny Marino. with Barry Sanders, Antonio Gates, and Rob Gronkowski, he gonna throw for about 5,000 yards, or Barry Sanders is gonna rush for 2K every damn year. He did 2K in Detroit, and they was trash. With that, Barry Sanders breaking the all-time record every year, 2,200, 2,400, 2,500. He killing their ass, bro. Killing them. So I'm just saying, bro.
DCTV made a good comment. He said, imagine Duck, the QB for BNC. Duck Hodges.
Chip.
No.
Chip.
Stop.
Chip.
See,
Chip for me.
That's where the point is. Imagine Duck Hodges is your quarterback. Now what are you going to do?
I'm still taking B.
You're not going to do nothing.
Yeah, but Chip.
Give me Dan Marino, and we'll figure out the rest, which is exactly what the Pittsburgh Steelers should have done. They should have taken Marino and figured out the rest.
Yeah.
But we didn't do it. We didn't do it.
Maybe I'm partial, man, because Gronk and Gates, man, oh my freaking God. That's two of the top 7 tight ends of all time. And that might be the best running back of all time. In NFL history, best running back of all time, 2 of the top 7 tight ends of all time. Come on, dog. Come on, man. Yeah. And Arthur Smith offense, we killing them. Mason Rudolph going to Hall of Fame. If Mason Rudolph stay healthy for 3 years, he going to put up so good of numbers that they're going to be looking at him talking about, yeah, he going to get in the Hall of Fame. He going to get in the Hall of Fame. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's tough. That is tough to overcome, those two right there. That is real tough to overcome. So, All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody always being in here and being lively like you guys always are. So, had a good day today. This is a great show. Lively. You guys did your thing in the chat. Appreciate everybody being in here as always. Again, man, I just want to throw this out there. Y'all been asking for the Steelers Almighty. We got the alcoholic shirts that it's a soft opening. They are available down at the bottom of your screen there. There is some merchandise down there for you guys to click on. So there is a link that is in the chat. So make sure you guys check that out. There's the link right there. Big merch available. The alcoholic shirts are up and available. So make sure you guys go check those out. We appreciate everybody being here again every Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. The Big Show live with Big B and Big G right here on Steelers Almighty. Remember, memberships also. If you want to help support the channel that way, 5 different levels of membership. You saw all the people in here that got their comments and questions put up that weren't super chats. If they were just members, you always get access to the chat up here. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that and sign up whenever you can. So we do have those big sizes, Mel. We do have those. I made sure I wasn't going to be able to wear a shirt if we didn't have big sizes, man. So they are available. But Big G, make sure, tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
Man, tomorrow night, I kick it off over there on the Know It Alls channel with Smash the Gas. Listen, y'all, I didn't had to commit Kirby to an insane asylum. He is going to be in the rubber room for the entire show, and I'm going to mute his mic at least 3-4 times because the stuff he's been telling me for the last 3 days, I just can't take it. So Tate Boy Freshton told me to back up off of him, but I told him he's going to the rubber room. I don't give a damn. So make sure you check us out on the Know It Alls podcast on Smash the Gas. Right afterwards, I'll be on Steel Curtain Network with Pump Your Brakes with the Triple OG Shannon White and Tate Boy Fresh. We got a really good pondering question tomorrow night. We're going to do our State of the Steelers early, and we're going to talk about and tell the facts about what the Pittsburgh Steelers really are going into 2025. So I appreciate all you guys that haven't subscribed to the Know It Alls channel. Make sure you do it, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the Know It Alls channel and on Steel Curtain Network with Pump Your Brakes, man.
Gotcha. We appreciate you, man. Thank everybody again for being in here and showing out as always, man. Make sure you guys go and check out, like I said, the merch store is now up and running for everybody out there. We got the Alcoholics shirts up and going. Make sure you guys go check those out. My favorite one literally over there is the Thunderbird Advisory Board, man. Yeah. Make sure you guys go check out the Thunderbird Advisory Board shirt, man. That's my favorite one that we got up so far. So appreciate you guys, man. Thank you again for always being in here. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. And aloha.